okay. Gotta stay. I just gotta be cool. It's no big deal. I'm gonna be fine. Fine.
Happy Friday the 13th!
Ah! You scared the cookie crumbs out of my mouth hole.
Why are you hiding under a blanket?
This is a bad luck proof blanket because tomorrow is a very unlucky and very freaky Friday.
Okay, well, that's tomorrow. And today, we got to start the show. I'm Pamela Kirkland.
And I'm Ryan Willard. It's Thursday, September 12th.
This is 10 things you need to know.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Freaky Friday the 13th is tomorrow, and Halloween is less than 2 months away, and the popular costume store, Spirit Halloween, is wasting no time. The company announced that this year it plans to open a record number of locations across the US and Canada, a whopping 1,525 locations. That means there will be 1,525 locations to get costumes, decorations, candy, wigs, candy, candy, and what were we talking about? Candy?
Spirit Halloween?
Right. As of late August, over 1,100 locations had already been opened, and the rest should be here by the end of September. Until then, Pamela, can you take the next story? I have to do some really important research. Where to buy giant bags of candy?
Well, Ryan, as excited as I am too about Spirit Halloween, there are way scarier things out there than costumes and Friday the 13th. Let's talk about some positive environmental news.
This should put you in a pretty good mood, because I'm talking about cows. Genetically engineered cows, to be specific. Canadian dairy farmer Ben Lowitt's calves are expected to be born next spring and would be among the first to be bred with the goal of burping less methane. Cow burps are a huge source of greenhouse gases, and the low methane trait could reduce emissions from Canada's dairy herd by 1.5% annually, which could mean that by 2050, we could see a 20 to 30% decrease. I mean, if you think about it, these cows are going to help save the world.
Environmental issues are a hot topic, which brings me to our next story, the debate between former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. On Tuesday, the presidential candidates went head-to-head just weeks before the November 5th election in a debate hosted by ABC News. This was the first and very well could be the only time that these two ever actually debate.
That's right, Pam. And with the election less than 2 months away, this is not only the first time the two have faced off in a debate, it's also the first time the two have met IRL.
Harris entered the game pretty late since Biden's decision to step down from the race happened in mid-July. This means she's had only a fraction of the time that Trump has to rally support and establish her platforms, something that's normally done over months and months. The debate gave both of them the opportunity to answer questions, appeal to voters, and make a case for themselves in advance of the big day.
It was a heated debate, and former President Trump's most talked about and confusing line was when he claimed, quote, "In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there." He was referring to immigrants, but that claim has been fact-checked by multiple sources and found to be completely untrue. What is true, though, is that after the debate, Taylor Swift posted on Instagram and announced that she will be voting for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 election. In the post, Swift said, quote, "I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she is a steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos." Another reason people have been watching a little more TV lately, the NFL season opener. And in the wide world of sports. That's right, the 2024 season is officially underway, and last Thursday, September 5th, they kicked off the first game of the season with a game between the Baltimore Ravens and Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team.
You mean the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, I guess that's what they're technically called. That first game ended in a win for the Chiefs with a score of 27-20, but this was the first game in a whole series that will lead up to a Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. The Chiefs are going for a third straight year of winning, but who knows what could happen.
Wow, I'm excited for the rest of the season. I love seeing everyone rep their team spirit.
The mayor of France may have everyone beat on team spirit.
Oh, you must be talking about...
Yep, what we're going to tell the tenors right after this break. Hey tenors, I can't be the only one a little freaked out by Friday the 13th. Here are two crazy weather things that have happened on a Friday the 13th. On Friday, July 13th, 1951, Kansas had a crazy storm and had over 25 inches of rain. The cities of Manhattan, Lawrence, and Topeka were most affected, and over 2 million acres of land were damaged by the flood. On Friday, October 13th, 2006, almost 500,000 people lost power in Buffalo, New York, and the surrounding suburbs when they were hit with 22 to 24 inches of snow. Obviously, snow happens in New York, but in October? Come on! All I'm saying is, things can get a little freaky on Friday the 13th. I'll be watching the skies tomorrow. Okay, back to the show.
Tenors, we had so much fun watching the Olympics. It's no wonder that France is really proud of hosting. Like, really proud. Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo actually wants to keep the Olympic rings on the Eiffel Tower after the games are over. These rings were installed on the Eiffel Tower before the opening ceremony in July, and they're huge. We're talking almost 100 feet wide, 50 feet high, and they weigh 30 tons. That's about 66,138 pounds.
What? That's so heavy. No wonder they don't want to move them. Talk about throwing your back out.
Hidalgo wants to keep them up because the French have fallen in love with Paris again, and she wanted, quote, this festive spirit to remain. Paris residents have mixed feelings about it. Some say the beautiful rings add color. Others say the historic monument should be left alone. One thing I'm sure about is that Ryan will not be helping move those.
You are right about that. Now, we have to come back to the US and talk about something sad that happened last Friday. In Apalachee High School in Georgia, a 14-year-old killed 4 people, 2 students and 2 teachers, with a gun that he brought to school. An additional 9 people were injured, and they will make a full recovery. The shooter was arrested, and his father has also been arrested. The father is accused of giving his son a gun even after his son had made threats to hurt others. It is a new step by law enforcement and only the second time that a parent has been arrested for the actions of his or her child in a case like this. Many people are showing their support for the town of Apalachee. The Atlanta Falcons wore Apalachee t-shirts during their warm-ups in last Sunday's game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and President Biden called on Congress to pass new gun control measures to help keep schools safe.
I think it's time for a very cool Paralympic story. Paralympian Hunter Woodhull has taken home the gold medal for Team USA. You may have first seen Hunter in the stands during the Olympics when he cheered on his wife, Olympian and gold medal winner herself, Tara Davis Woodhull. This time, it was his turn to stand on the podium by winning the 400-meter T62 race. Congratulations to the gold medal couple. We all know that mistakes happen, and a big one happened to a 4-year-old boy during a museum visit. He accidentally smashed a 3,500-year-old jar. Oh no! The artifact was at the Hecht Museum in Israel and was from the Bronze Age, between 2200 and 1500 BC. It was super rare for something to be so old and still in one piece, and it was on display near the museum entrance without being behind any glass. Thankfully, the museum was really understanding of those circumstances. The boy just wanted to take a closer look at a really cool piece of history. A specialist has been appointed to restore the jar and will be returned to its spot shortly. The boy has also been invited back to the exhibit, but he may want to keep his hands in his pockets this time.
I am not going to be visiting a museum anytime soon because I have some big gaming to do. Good games. PlayStation is having a big month. On Tuesday, Sony announced the PS5 Pro, an upgrade to the original PS5 that will have improved graphics, frame rate performance, and hard drive size.
Whoa.
Sony says this is the most powerful PlayStation console ever made, and it's also the most expensive. The PS5 Pro starts at $700, will not include a vertical stand or a disk drive, and will launch on November 7th. Their brand new platformer Astrobot was just released and currently has a 94 Metacritic rating, which makes it one of the highest rated games of 2024. Astrobot is a continuation of the wildly popular free game Astro's Playroom, which came with the PS5 that was used to showcase the PS5's new features and power. I tested Astrobot this weekend, and I have to say, it's one of the best platformers I played in a long time. And if you are a PlayStation fan, there is a ton of nostalgia that feels like you're playing in a PlayStation museum. And if that's not enough, if you're a PS Plus subscriber, the 3 free games this month include Little Nightmares 2, MLB The Show 24, and Harry Potter's Quidditch Champions. That is a lot of GGs.
Keeping that playful spirit going for the last thing you need to know, let's kick it to Owen for some trivia.
What is going on here?
Trivia on the 10.
Ryan's obviously a little scared of Friday the 13th. But what is the word for a fear of Friday the 13th? Is it A. Frigatriskaidekaphobia, B. Freaky Friday phobia, or C. Stickafinkadipaphobia? Alright, Tanners, did you guess it? The answer is A. Frigatriskaidekaphobia. It might sound like a wacky word, but if we break down Frigatriskaidekaphobia, it makes sense. Friday is named after the Norse goddess of wisdom named Frigg. Triskaidea is a Greek word for 13, and phobia means fear. Frigatriskaidekaphobia.
Frigatriskaidekaphobia! But there's another word for this fear that's way easier to say. Paraskevidekatriophobia! Oh, right, that's not easier, but it is just as fun. And it's another with Greek roots where paraskevi translates as Friday, and dekatria is another way of saying 13.
And that was 10 things you need to know.
Great show today, Pam. I can't believe we did the whole thing in the dark.
We didn't do it in the dark. You just never came out from under your lucky blanket.
And I won't until Saturday the 14th. Will you please bring me some snacks?
Of course I will. And in the meantime, we should give some 10 new snaps to one of our listeners.
But before we do, here's a quick note for the grown-ups.
Hello, 10 News parents. Since you listen to the 10 News, I know you have some smart cookies at home. Well, today, I'm going to tell you about a great offering to complement their learning. IXL Learning is an online learning program that enriches your homeschool curriculum. It offers practice in math, English language arts, science, and social studies while adapting to each child, meeting them where they are. Plus, IXL encourages students to be curious and empowers them to choose how to learn. With its user-friendly organization by grade, subject, and topic, IXL saves you precious time by making it simple to find the right activities for each lesson. IXL provides instant feedback and progress reports, empowering you to track your child's development and promptly address their learning needs. It's personalized learning at its best. Make an impact on your child's learning and get IXL now. And 10 News listeners can get an exclusive 20% off IXL membership when they sign up today at www.ixl.com/TEN. Visit www.ixl.com/TEN to get the most effective learning program out there at the best price.
Have you ever wondered who the Mary was from Bloody Mary? If the Loch Ness Monster was real, or if Ouija boards actually worked? On each episode of the family-friendly Unspookable, we look at the histories and mysteries behind your favorite scary stories, myths, and urban legends to get the real stories behind the scares. Want to solve your next mystery? Find and follow Unspookable now wherever you get your podcasts.
It's time for 10 News Snaps.
A tenor named Kid678 said, "I love this podcast. I listen to it every night. Keep making more." And then added 2 smiley faces and 4 butterfly emojis.
That is awesome, Kid678. Thank you, but also no thank you for those you-know-whats.
And a tenor named Ben, aka Gamer1578, said, "For National Read a Book Day, I recommend Grenade by Alan Gratz."
Cool recommendation. Thank you, Ben. And if you didn't know, I am also a gamer. And FYI, 10 Things You Need to Know drops on Thursdays, and our deep dive episodes drop once a month. If you want some bonus content, you can join the Tenors Club on our website. And to our grown-ups, if you want to help support the 10 News, you can make a tax-deductible donation at the link in our show notes. The whole team thanks you for your support.
The 10 News is a co-production of Small But Mighty Media and Next Chapter Podcasts and part of the Airwave Podcast Network.
The 10 News creative team is feeling lucky, even though it's about to be Friday the 13th, and includes Tracy Crooks, Adam the Great Bambino Bernard, Kyle Mookie Murdoch, Heba Gouda, and Carson Potter. Big thanks to Owen for contributing to this episode.
Our production director is Jeremiah Tittle, and our executive producers are Donald Albright and show creator Tracy Leeds Kaplan. I'm Pamela Kirkland.
And I'm Ryan Willard. Thanks for listening to the 10 News.